Hi everyone, my name is Abby Gregg and I'll be your instructor for two-dimensional design this summer. I am an artist and art educator here in Denver. I'm originally from Georgia, where I got a degree in art education as well as painting from the University of Georgia. I then went to the San Francisco Art Institute to get an MFA in studio art. So I'm a very interdisciplinary artist. And because of that, I am really excited to engage in a wide variety of materials with you through this class. Um, so um, through this video, I just want to give you a short introduction to the class, go over the syllabus. I'm not going to read through every single thing, so please, in your own time, read through the syllabus, make sure we're all on the same page. At the same time, I don't want to bore you to death. So this class is an undergraduate core class for an arts credit, and it focuses on the core concepts of the elements and the principles of design. So through this class, you should gain a basic understanding of how these principles work and be able to analyze them and visually articulate your concerns with your artwork and artwork that you see out in the world. So the content of the class will explore these foundational visual art skills and processes that are necessary for you to develop a strong visual art practice. So you'll utilize design principles like picture plane, figure-ground relationships, scale, patterns, hierarchy, value, color, time, spatial illusion, and modular systems. So these design principles will be used with a wide variety of media. So we'll have a couple of different printmaking methods as well as a painting and a collage project. And each project will be begun through a sketchbook assignment in which you can use whatever materials you want, and you're more than welcome to sort of work in sort of hybrid methods through these projects. So in this course, I will show you a wide variety of contemporary as well as historical artworks to use as a reference point to sort of explore what it is that makes these works successful and to form meaning. So while we'll be focusing on technique through processes themselves and more formal elements and principles of art, we'll also be diving into sort of how meaning is created in your work. And these projects are set up in a thematic format so that through each project, you should have sort of a very open-ended umbrella of ideas to explore through the techniques you'll be utilizing. So hopefully this course will open up sort of a window towards self-expression for you and just general awareness and good design practice. No matter what creative field you're going into, what you'll learn in this course, I think will be instrumental later on. My name is Abby Gregg, as I said before. Here I have my pronouns. So the pronouns I use are she, her, hers, or they, them. Here I have my phone number as well as my university email. So please feel free to reach out. Any questions and concerns, I always try to get back to you within 24 hours. Office hours are by appointment only through phone or Zoom, although email is always also great. You can always also shoot me a text if you have a quick question. I might not give you quite as large of a response through a text, but if you just are like, hey, is this the right kind of material? I'm more than happy to respond with a text. All right, so here I have the course goals and outcomes. I'm not going to go through every one because like I said, I don't want to bore you to death. But basically this course is designed to allow you to focus on the elements and principles of design, which are really, they rely on one another in order to function. So through these elements and principles of design, I hope that you will also learn skills in critical thinking, which is always something that I get every time I make a work of art, is I have to think critically and solve problems. How works of art can form as a way of communication, but also how you can verbalize and put your thoughts about artwork and making artwork into words. We'll also focus on visual organization, visual translation, craftsmanship, a, a basic competence in all of these things, and vocabulary. So through these projects, for the most part, we're going to be making things, but we're also going to be talking about things and sort of responding to one another's work. So you should be able to get some practice. And unfortunately, we aren't going to be meeting in person because I think I want to make sure this course is flexible for all of you. And I know a lot of you guys are in very different places right now. And it's a complicated time to be a person. So all of our critiques will be via Canvas. So you'll be giving each other written responses, and I'll be giving you written responses as well. That being said, I'm more than happy to meet with you through Zoom, even each week if you would like. All right, so some more major things we'll be covering are media. So how to handle different kinds of media, so and work across different kinds of materials. So being able to just pick up a new material and figure it out is a really, really valuable skill. Collaboration, so we'll sort of get in, and as well as critical evaluation, we'll kind of get into sort of how it is that we can respond to one another's artwork in a way that's respectful, but also constructive and generative. All right, the course learning dispositions. So ethics. So how can you be an artist in a way that aligns with your values? Also, confidence. So this is, I think, a really important thing in some of your first art classes, is to experiment with things that you might be uncomfortable with and gain a confidence through trying new things, having an open-minded approach to making work. But also the sort of sketchbook assignments that I'm going to give to you guys are going to be designed so that you can really process sort of what it is that you care about and put who you are into your work. I think some of the most confident work out there, is going to be most you. It's going to be when you're being yourself in your work. All right, some major topics we'll cover. How to identify and employ the elements and principles of design, how to achieve the principles through these elements, basic color theory, color mixing, and how to see value in color. I'm a painter, and I'm so excited to get into color theory with you. And I think through each of these assignments, we can talk a bit about how to have successful color relationships that elicit emotional responses from your viewer. Clean presentation and craftsmanship. This is really important. So how can you present your work in a way that's going to highlight its best features, but also get across the meaning and the ideas that you're interested in. How to use your materials to your advantage. So we're going to be experimenting with some materials you might think are a little weird. I am very excited to see how you approach each project. How to compose the various modes of representation. This is something that I think will feed into pretty much any sort of career you're going towards as an artist. So how to make something, and then how to have an idea, and then how to compose it through various modes of representing it based on what's going to work best. And that's something I'm really excited to get into because it's so practical, but also so interdisciplinary. All right, how to synthesize form and content into meaningful works of art. So we'll be thinking a lot about technique, but we'll also be thinking about how do those techniques and the way of making it get across ideas and meaning. Why design? Design is all around us. It shapes our psychology. It shapes the way we experience the world, and developing these technical skills and learning new ways of seeing, but also creating, is fundamental for anyone pursuing a creative field. So it's not always just about the creation side, but it's about how do you see the world, interpret and process what you see into works of art. So synthesizing these experiences that you have can allow for documentation, reflection, and expression of your point of view in the world. Um, so we'll also learn strategies to employ in the creative process. So creative process is vast and exciting, but also sometimes it's unexpected. So I think learning how to sort of go through the process and sort of be willing to accept the unexpected and work through mistakes is one of the most important things as an artist. Also, just learning new forms of aesthetic communication. So as an artist, you're all communicators. All right, so the structure of this course. This class will explore a variety of interdisciplinary media. So through printmaking, making textures, making paintings and collage, making mixed media work. You guys will have opportunities to try new things, but also put who you are into your work and experiment with these different elements and principles that are so important to creating successful design and art. So each project will begin in video demonstrations and presentations of artwork, as well as sketchbook assignments. So I really recommend, when I post a new module and say, hey, everyone, we've got our new project starting now, go for it. I recommend watching all the videos, which I'll post into a YouTube channel, in which I'll actually demonstrate several different techniques, but I'll also show presentations of artworks that should be inspiring to you. And once you watch those, the sketchbook assignments are basically guided journal prompts and sketchbook prompts for you to follow to sort of develop your ideas going into the project. So each thing that we sort of do in this class will be streamlined towards one major project that hopefully will be like a thematic way of processing these techniques into ideas of your own. So these guided prompts will feed into your work each week and conclude in weekly peer and instructor feedback. So one really important thing that we're going to be doing this summer is giving each other feedback every week. So the requirements are basically completion of 3 major projects that'll be turned in on Canvas. After you turn in anything, you'll then have 5 days to give 3 of your peers comments on their work. These 3 major projects are the sort of like the big final products for each project. The sketchbook assignments are much more, they're, like I said, they're sketches. They don't have to be beautiful. They can be rough and, sketchy. You can have things crossed out. They don't need to be perfect. But the 3 sketchbook assignments are going to be the way that we develop our ideas and get prepared for the projects themselves. And each of these sketchbook assignments is going to be incredibly helpful as a catalyst for your project. So I really recommend, as soon as you get those sketchbook assignments, just sort of dive into one as we get into that specific project. You will also need to do 2 submissions of in-progress work on the non-critique or sketchbook weeks, along with comments on your peers' work. So basically on Sundays, every Sunday for the 8-week course, you will have something due. And every Friday after, you are to give 3 comments to 3 of your peers. So, 1 comment to 3 of your peers' work based on what they just posted. So this way we can all kind of be in dialogue with each other's work and get feedback as we go, but also be inspired by the work that we're all doing as a class. All right, so class content will be posted within modules on Canvas, along with links to class videos. So the videos, I recommend watching them as soon as you get them. Sometimes I'll post more videos the following week to sort of build on the content. And I'll try to send out pretty frequent email reminders just so we're all on the same page. Like I said, every Sunday you'll have something due to Canvas, either a finished product, a sketchbook assignment, or in-progress work based on all depending on the week. And by the following Friday, you must leave a thoughtful comment on 3 of your peers' work. So the grading policy. So participation is 30%. So this is gauged from your in-progress work that you post on the weeks that is required. And just so you know, midnight is always this sort of due date time. So Friday at midnight for your peer critiques. So these peer critiques, they can be a 1 or 2 sentence response to what it is that they made. So this can be, you know, mostly constructive feedback. You can include some constructive criticism as well. We want to be respectful of each other as well. Okay, there'll be 3 major projects that make up 45% of your grade. 3 sketchbook assignments that will make up 25% of your grade. And projects are due to Canvas on Sundays at 11:59, uploaded as a JPEG. And hopefully we can embed, I'm going to do another video on how to embed your images into the discussion sections of Canvas. So here we have the grading rubric. So every single one of these points you see on this section of the rubric are all out of 100. So let's say you miss one of your in-progress posts or one of your critique responses, you will automatically be deducted 3.33 points from your total grade. So this is all out of your 100%. So you can really tell, like, if you miss something or if it's late, you can automatically calculate what it is, what grade you're going to get because of missing that assignment. So work will be accepted late at a 50% penalty. So if you turn in a project late after the due date, you automatically will get like at least a 7 out of 15 for that project. So you really want to stay on top of it, and you guys will do just fine. And it's true that if you get behind, you're going to then get behind them the next week. So I really recommend just sort of trying to train your brain to be ready for Sundays to be important due dates and Fridays to be the critiques, which really shouldn't take very long at all. All right, the expectations are here. Basically, I'm not going to go through every one of these, but basically what this is saying is complete all of the work. Sorry, this is wrong. We will not have weekly Zoom meetings. Take care in your presentation, your responses. Be inventive and rigorous. So work hard, but also don't be afraid to take risks. I will give you a higher grade for taking a risk and failing than I will if you just skate by on the minimum requirements without taking risks. So challenge yourself, try things that are, you know, a little bit out of your comfort zone, and don't be afraid to take risks, even if you feel like it might not work out in the end. The process is sometimes more important than the final product. So participate each week, demonstrate creative thinking and problem solving. So if a project isn't working for you, I'm more than happy to have a chat with you about how you can sort of shift your process or shift your thinking. But at the same time, creative problem solving through this creative process is, I think, one of the most important things that you will do and learn in this class. Having good work ethic and prompt and timely preparation. So basically just staying on top of it. And having a positive attitude towards constructive criticism in my critiques, but as well as your peer critiques. So demonstrating an understanding of the conceptual issues in design work. So, you know, if you make something, but you haven't thought anything about what it means or what sort of implications are behind the images you're using, you know, you always want to think through why it is that you're choosing to make work in this specific way. And sometimes it's because it's an assignment, but I always want to encourage you guys to put a little bit more deep thinking into each project we give or I give. All right, and just sort of willingness to experiment with things you haven't tried before. So, you know, it's true that I might sort of make you guys try some weird processes where you're like, what's happening? But I'm doing this because getting out of your comfort zone is going to make you way stronger as an artist. And you'll learn skills that you can then apply back into the things that maybe are your go-to art practices. All right, so here is the visual arts content notification. So basically, what this is saying is art classes, we're going to explore some topics that might be uncomfortable for some people. So some ideas and theories based on human body, sexuality, race, gender, religions, and cultures. So this course could touch on any of the following categories. Normally it's through showing artwork that might be talking about a certain thing. But basically it's up to you to determine if any part of the course goes against your core values. Let me know and I'm more than happy to accommodate. All right. Here is the email policy, which basically says you need to check your university email. I will mostly send messages through Canvas. So make sure to check Canvas frequently, but also if you get the app on your phone, the Canvas app, it'll notify you every time you get a message, but also if someone comments on your work, or if I send you feedback on Canvas, you will see everything really quickly and it's a lot easier to keep track of. All right, and here's the cross-reference or appendix. So the attendance policy links to discrimination and harassment information if you need it. There's the grade appeal process, academic freedom, and the student code of conduct. So these are all things that if you need to refer to at any point in the semester, please refer back to the syllabus, and we've got links here for you. Same thing with your privacy rights. So if at any point you feel like, you know, any of these issues come up, feel free to use these links, but also I'm more than happy to talk to you. All right, and also here we have the incomplete policy. So please read through this. This is basically if for some reason you cannot complete the course, but you've completed a certain amount of it, you can file to receive an incomplete to then complete the coursework later on. All right, disability services information. So basically, if you have a disability related concern, I am more than happy to accommodate. I try to make the course structured in a way that will work for you specifically based on what you need. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any disability related concerns. Religious holiday accommodations. So while I have the deadline set on Sunday and Friday, if you have a religious holiday on one of those days and you need an extension by a day, I'm more than happy to accommodate that. Just let me know. All right, required materials. So I sent this out about a week or two ago. So hopefully you've ordered these or you have plans to acquire them. But I really recommend just getting all the materials you need at the beginning of the semester so you're not sort of like, oh no, I need this by Tuesday, and you're like rushing around. It's a really hectic time to worry about materials. So I recommend just ordering it, having it all ready so you don't need to stress. I'm also more than happy to talk to you about accommodating sort of like, let's say you have a certain kind of thing already that might work for a certain material. I'm happy to take a look at what you have and talk to you about how that can work. Same thing if, you know, for some reason these things are too expensive, or you need like a can I make this at home sort of idea for something. I really love resourceful art making. So making work with what you have is a really great skill. But at the same time, you know, investing in art materials is, you know, something that I think is incredibly worth it. All right, so a couple of things I want to mention about the materials is that on the Blick list, I pre-selected the colors for you. So if you don't want the yellow and purple combination, you can choose the orange and blue combination or the green and red. It's just really important that you at least have 2 complementary colors. If you have 3 primaries in white, that will also work as well. And I've selected these materials because you can use them for mini projects. So the piece of glass you will use for every single project. A gloss or matte medium you'll use for 2 of the projects. The block printing ink and the brayer you'll use for 2 of the projects. And then there are certain things that you can find at home. So like recyclables, our first project is all about texture. So if anything looks like it has an interesting texture that you can make a stamp out of, make a little box of just like beautiful trash that you might need, like pretty litter. Um, you can always sort of collect this like on a walk, sanitize it though. But take note that things like bubble wrap, cardboard, plastic, also collage images. So old books you might find at a thrift store in your basement, like things like that are going to be useful for this class. So, you know, have a little box for keeping things that you might otherwise think should go in the trash. Here I've also included recommended or optional materials. So you shouldn't need these, but if you want to get these, it might make sort of the options you have be a little bit wider. And so, you know, like the hot glue gun will speed up the process for certain things. And you're more than welcome to get, you know, more than one color of block printing ink. All right, so here is the course schedule. So just so you know, this could change. And if it does, I will make a new syllabus and let you know in a timely manner. But every single week is mapped out here, including what it is that, like what kind of content you need to check out. So videos, introductions to projects, that sort of thing. Every single week I'll send you some sort of content for you to review before you dive into your assignments. But also, so in blue, I've included all of the sketchbook assignments. And in purple, I've incorporated all of the peer work and in progress work that's due. So just so you know, every single Sunday, you will have one thing due at midnight on every Sunday. So this might be a sketchbook assignment. It might be a project. The projects are in red, or it might be in progress work. So you do need to keep track of, you know, what it is specifically that's due, but it's written out right here for you in the syllabus. And I'll try to keep you updated, and your due dates will be in Canvas as well. But just so you know, every Sunday you'll have either a project, a sketchbook assignment, or in progress work due. This will be all based on sort of what stage we are in the project. And then every Friday at midnight, you will have 3 comments due on peer work. So basically, you'll need to go into the discussions question with the assignments, take a look at all of the works that your peers or classmates did, and leave 3 comments. And they don't need to be too long, but this is a way of sort of allowing us to keep up with each other's work, get inspired, and also give each other some constructive, generative feedback. So I also have written out the materials you'll need for each project or each week. So please just keep up with this. It's going to make your life a lot easier if you have these things in your calendar. But you know, it should be pretty straightforward, because basically every Sunday you will have something due. It's only an 8-week course, so it's true that it's going to be a little bit condensed. So while I'm doing my best to make sure everything is doable and you're not super overwhelmed with work, you will have deadlines every Sunday, and you'll need to give feedback every Friday. So, or by every Friday. So those are the 2 due dates that you basically need to think about every week. Our final week, all you will have due is your 3rd project on that Friday. So that's a little bit different of a week just because of the end of the semester. But other than that, all you need to do is keep track of what is due on that Sunday and what is due on that Thursday. And I'll try to keep this really simple and post it into Canvas so that it's easy to do. But I'm really excited for this semester with you all, and to learn more about your work, who you are as artists and people, and to sort of share with you some of my favorite and most exciting things about art making and design. So I look forward to working with you all. Bye-bye.